The new era is up and running at Real Madrid. Julen Lopetegui has wasted no time putting his own stamp on this Real Madrid squad. No Zinedine Zidane, no Cristiano Ronaldo, no problem for Real Madrid, who've started the season with 9 points from 9, 10 goals scored and only 1 conceded from open play. How then have they done it? And how does this differ from the Zinedine Zidane regime? What we've seen with Lopetegui's tactics is a far more possession-heavy brand of football, one that demands total control of the central areas on the ball. It's a style of football which can see a big emphasis on switches of play when Real Madrid are in possession and when opponents try and stodge up that central area. In 2 of their opening 3 La Liga games, Real Madrid have had 77% or more of the possession. Not only does this help Lopetegui dictate the tempo of the game, but it also has the twin benefit of denying chance-making opportunities to the opposition. Real Madrid's pressing game has been higher and more intense under Lopetegui than it was under Zidane. And maybe there's been an increased motivation to see off those smaller La Liga teams against whom Real Madrid struggled in the league occasionally last season. In that regard, complacency is not going to be tolerated. We saw that after an hour of the 4-1 win over Girona when Marcelo, who wasn't playing particularly well, was hauled off. Not only that, but there's been a distinct change of shape in this Real Madrid team than there was under Zidane, who won 3 European Cups back to back to back. Questions were asked over the summer on how Real Madrid were going to replace Cristiano Ronaldo and how exactly they were going to play without Ronaldo in the team. Ronaldo's place in the starting lineup has been ceded to Marco Asensio, but the young Spaniard is playing very, very differently than how Ronaldo was playing during the latter days of Zidane's regime. Back then, he played in a partnership with Karim Benzema, with Isco playing in the hole in behind. Benzema was served a lot of criticism under Zinedine Zidane for his failure to score enough goals, but that was to overlook his primary role in the team. He was in the team primarily as a link man, to create chances for Cristiano Ronaldo and to help Real Madrid break out from the back. Benzema's way of playing is going to change profoundly under Lopetegui. No longer will he be in charge of leading counter-attacks because Madrid aren't going to use him that much. And we should see him score more goals. You're going to see Benzema become a key man in this system under Lopetegui. He's the central striker, no longer sharing that space with a strike partner like he was under Cristiano Ronaldo. We've already seen him this season coming off the front line, showing deep for those midfield passes from Toni Kroos and getting ready to spin in behind, ready to receive passes from Kroos, Modric and Isco. Once upon a time, we would have seen Karim Benzema drift out wide, dragging his markers out there with him and opening that central channel for Cristiano Ronaldo to pounce and poach. That's going to be much rarer when he's playing up front alongside Asensio. Look back through the footage and you'll be struck by the number of chances that Benzema created from out wide and from pullbacks for Ronaldo. Around 4 or 5 years ago, we saw Ronaldo's role change. He was no longer that wide man who got down the wing to put crosses in for Benzema. They became more of a partnership. We'll still see Benzema utilised as a link man, but with no Cristiano Ronaldo to pass the ball forward to, those passes are instead going back to the likes of Isco, and he's getting ready to receive the ball further up the pitch. Marco Asensio, now starting in the team where Cristiano Ronaldo once would, is key to a fluid but recognisable front 3. And that's very different to the partnership that Zidane employed after the BBC went out of fashion. We've seen Asensio make runs down the line or between his fullback and the centre-back. Not only has that created goals for Real Madrid earlier on this season, but it's also helped Asensio win 3 penalties in 2 games. Asensio's strength and power and ability to break the lines has been used by Lopetegui to overcome solid defensive organisation. Not only that, but we've seen Asensio provide some classic wing play, creating chances for Benzema and Bale in the centre. Asensio has also developed a keen sense of understanding with Gareth Bale on the other side of attack, which causes confusion in the opposition ranks when they switch position. And what about Gareth Bale? Well, he's gone from a very expensive bench player under Zidane to a key performer in this new system. How? He's such a big weapon for Real Madrid after winning his place back on the right side of attack, because not only can he come short for passes from Dani Carvajal, but his pace and explosive power can carry in behind and get him chances one-on-one with opposition goalkeepers. We've seen Bale come as far as the halfway line for layoffs and switches of play, using his physique and his deft touch. He's able to get opponents on the turn like no other player in the Real Madrid attack, and that's when these crucial cross-field passes then become available. Like we mentioned earlier with Asensio, he switches flanks, and this leaves that right wing area available for Dani Carvajal to then get forward. And his ability to play 1-2s with the likes of Modric and Isco has always been key for Real Madrid to get to the byline and get pullbacks into the 6-yard box. Bale and Benzema have got 7 between them already in league competition, and they are well on their way to matching Ronaldo's output from the last few seasons. You're going to see a heavy bias this season of Real Madrid trying to create their chances down the left-hand side of the attack. They tend to overload that area, with Marcelo getting high up there, combining with the likes of Benzema and Asensio. And maybe then they'll look for the big switch of play to find Carvajal or Bale coming in at the back post. With Luka Modric being eased back into action after his World Cup exploits, It's been Isco who's taken up the classic number 10 playmaker role in this team. His relationship with Bale towards the right-hand side of the Real Madrid attack is already becoming key, with layoffs and 1-2s, and Bale's ability to get in behind been a key feature of the first 3 matches so far. Because Lopetegui wants his team to have so much of the ball, you're going to see less of an emphasis in midfield on Casemiro breaking up the play and more of an emphasis of Toni Kroos getting on the ball to start Real Madrid going in their attacks. He completed 98% of his passes in that opening weekend game against Getafe. He's going to be absolutely crucial in this new Real Madrid system, a patient, possession-based game, which seeks to move opposition defences from side to side until they can eventually find that gap to get in behind. It was often said that Zidane's main job in that Real Madrid dressing room was keeping all those personalities and egos on the same page. But don't overlook how tactically astute he actually was. He knew that that front three wasn't going to work any longer, and he saw the difficulties that Rafa Benitez had because he didn't have a genuine defensive midfield player in his team. 2 key alterations then. Bale, whether through injury or form, was out of the lineup in favour of Isco, and Casemiro came in to sit in the midfield. Under Benitez, Madrid looked overbalanced in that midfield area because the manager was under pressure to play James Rodriguez as their next midfield player there. He didn't have the discipline to do so Kroos and Modric as a partnership in the centre were very much exposed. That changed to a 4-4-2 with a diamond in midfield. Well, that allowed Marcelo and Carvajal to get much higher up the pitch and almost become hybrid fullback wingers. That in turn allowed Cristiano Ronaldo to get much closer to the box and utilise his poaching prowess. It was during that time that we saw Ronaldo move from the left flank into a more central striking role. And what we saw with Madrid as they won 3 Champions League was they were quite happy to go on the back foot, sit in and hit teams on their counter-attack. That's going to change profoundly under Lopetegui. Zidane, the manager, was very much influenced by the style of Marcello Lippi and Carlo Ancelotti, who utilised the strengths of the players at their disposal rather than using one overarching central philosophy. Lopetegui, on the other hand, well, he's going to make the players try and fit his system. So what now for Real Madrid with no Zidane and no Ronaldo? Well, you're going to see that front three come back into fashion. You're going to see a heavy bias for chance creation down the left-hand side. And you're going to see a lot more goals for Karim Benzema and Gareth Bale. Let us know in the comment section what you think about Julen Lopetegui's new system at Real Madrid. And hit that subscribe button to get all the latest news from goal.